Good morning. Today is the next video in our teacher series for behavior management strategies in the classroom. Today we're talking about how to set up daily routines in your classroom. Routines are so valuable for getting students to do things on an automated process. In your classroom, you probably have a schedule where we come in, we put away our backpacks, we do our morning meeting, we get started on reading, we have our reading block, then we have maybe our science block, we go to specials, have recess, have lunch, and you have that general broad schedule for the day. But one of the things that you want to look at is creating a daily routine for different parts of the day. Routines are especially important during transition times. During transition times, there are a lot of steps that you need students to complete, especially coming into the classroom. Coming into the classroom, you need them to come in, hang up their backpack, put their homework in their basket. You need them to clip their lunch clip, whether they're home lunch or school lunch. You want to know who's there for the day. They need to get their chair down off of their desk. They need to get their morning journal out or their morning paper out, morning workout, and sit down at their desk and do their morning work. Those are a lot of individual steps. It's very similar to when you get up in the mornings and you're getting dressed. You have a very specific routine that you probably go through, and you do all of those things automatically without thinking about it. Some kids naturally pick up on the routine, and you probably establish this routine for your kids in the class at the beginning. But how do you get those routines established, and how do you target those kids that tend to be a little more disorganized and have a harder time picking up on all of those incremental steps? So let's take, for example, cleaning up after an assignment. So typically after an assignment, you want students, when you're making a transition to the next assignment, you want students to put away their book, put away their materials. You want them to hand in their assignment or put it in their folder of things that they're working on. You want them to transition to the next location, maybe to line up at the door or to transition to the carpet. There are all those little steps. This takes a little bit of time to set up in the beginning, but you want to think about what are all of the individual tasks that I need a student to do in a routine. And then you want to print that out or put that in a list. Now for kids that can read, you can just do a written list, very much a checklist of here are the things that you need to do, check it off when you do it, okay? For kids that can't read, you may want to use visuals, so you may want to have a picture of their backpack and then a picture of their homework folder, homework basket, a picture of the lunch clip. And so you can either get those pictures off of Google Images, or you can get those pictures off of just by taking pictures with your phone and then cutting and pasting them into a Word document. It doesn't have to be complex. For kids that are kind of pre-readers or early readers, you may want to use a combination of words and pictures just so that they can have both sitting there together. If you hear a noise in the background, my vacuum has decided to take the opportunity to clean. So hopefully she will be as quiet as possible, but you may hear Rosie tooling around in the background. So another thing that you want to think about when you're doing these routines is how to teach them to the kids. One easy way is at the beginning of the school year, having those printed out individually for each student. So every student has their checklist. You can put them inside a sheet protector or you can laminate them individually. Sheet protectors are great because they're easy to reuse. And then they can just check them off with a dry erase marker. And then at the end of the time, they can erase their dry erase marker marks and use it again for the next day. And that way you have those routines. They can also have several of them inside their sheet protector so that they can pull out the next routine and put that on top and have that one available for the next routine that they need to do. So think about when are those times that there's a lot of mini steps that you're really likely to lose, especially those kids with ADHD or those kids that have a harder time with organization. This saves you time because instead of having to sit there and say, Mark, get out your paper. Mark, where's your homework? Mark, don't forget your lunch clip. Mark, did you hang up your backpack? Why am I tripping over your backpack? Mark, why is your chair still on its desk? Instead of having to sit there and give all of those reminders to Mark individually, you just give Mark his list. Another thing you want to make sure to do at the beginning of the school year is just to practice this. So in basketball, when you're practicing something, you shoot the same basket 10 times or 15 times or 100 times. You're not going to practice that as much with your students, but those first few days of school, really practice the routine. Have everybody do everything they're supposed to do. You can give them performance feedback on it. Come back to their desk. Okay, guys, great job. Let's do it again, and I'm going to time you and see if we can all do it faster than we did last time. Time them, and then practice it a couple of days. See how fast you can get them to go, and then every now and then incrementally you can time them to see if we're meeting our time or beating our time. This way you reduce lost instruction time during transitions, and you reduce lost instruction time from students that are off task. I hope you find this helpful, and I look forward to seeing you soon.